the most meaningless yet celebrated triple-double ever. Despite the loss, the world is busy talking about LeBron James's triple-double and his 23 points. 23 points! While Anthony Davis gets shit on for only having 28 points. You know what Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard were doing in that game that no one is talking about? They were giving Nurkic all he could handle. The battle down below was intense. Nurkic had 16 points, and Nurkic is supposed to be this big deal.
Howard and Nurkic are really swapping paint right now. They are banging every possession, it seems.
Anthony Davis, you piece of crap. All you had was a double-double, plus 2 steals and 2 blocks, and gobbling up all the defensive resources of the other team. Don't you know that's not enough to carry the best player on the planet? That's the team doing things that aren't getting the headlines that help the rest of the team win. In fact, that battle down below freed LeBron up for a lot of the rebounds that padded his stats. Can I just say something that needs to be said? Triple doubles don't mean what they used to. You know, we have people averaging triple doubles for this season now. We have people getting quadruple doubles. And somehow people aren't talking about them. With the new rules, the new style of play, the new three-pointers, reaching a triple-double just doesn't have the impact that it used to, especially when your triple-double comes when your team is losing. Getting some nice stats is different than doing what your team needs you to do to win, which is not always the same thing. In LeBron James's case, pass, 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 pass. What a great passer. What a great passer. And somehow that magically also makes him the best player on the planet. LeBron, 9 of 20. Wow. Amazing. Inspiring. And the praise on these passes. I mean, these guys are wide effing open. If you don't make that pass, you're a blind asshole. Especially this one where Anthony Davis is just left complete. Nurkic loses him. And he's just wide open going down the lane. And LeBron makes the pass. If you didn't make that pass, you would be incompetent. Not amazing. Caruso, on the other hand, makes a bounce pass to an Anthony Davis cutting in a crowded lane. It works. 2 points. No one says a fucking word. There's Caruso chasing down the loose ball, actually stealing it away from the Blazers, passing to LeBron. LeBron passes it back. This is great vision on Caruso's part to see a play in development, and the only reason it looks awkward at all is because Anthony Davis starts to pull up instead of continue through the lane. Where's the praise for this pass? Where's the praise for this pass? Drained in LeBron's mug, by the way. Where's the praise for this pass? Where's the praise for this pass? Where's the praise for this pass? Look, you're an NBA player. You better be able to pass. Stop asking for extra kudos for something you're supposed to do, and pretend like that makes you the best player on the planet. Just because all the announcers are sucking LeBron's dick and brainwashing you into thinking he's doing something better than everyone else, he's doing what everyone is supposed to do in the first fucking place. Look, if passing all night isn't getting it done for your team, and you're the best player on the planet, change. Do something else. Change. Do what needs to be done. That's what the greats do. Let's focus on the end of the game, when things really matter, because I don't give a shit if LeBron had actually had more impressive stats. Let's say he had 35, 40 points. At the end of the game, he misses 2 in a row. Free throws. Very important in a tight game. He gets his shot swatted away. He misses a wide open three-pointer that you can tell from his body language he was afraid to take. Complete with a few extra steps, as LeBron is always allowed. Then the play that seals the game. What's he doing but passing off blame on his teammates? Yeah, that wasn't your man. It wasn't that guy's man or that guy's man. And there's the Laker team looking around at each other trying to pass off blame, as LeBron teaches all of his teammates to do every team he goes to. Get it done. Don't give a shit whose man that was. Clearly, he needed to be stopped. Do what needs to be done. Do what needs to be done. Do what needs to be done to win. Did you see LeBron, the leader of the team, the greatest player on the planet, switch over and pick up Damian Lillard because of the threat that Damian Lillard was, or even CJ McCollum for that matter? No. No. He doesn't rise to those challenges. You know what? You saw the exact opposite of that. On one play towards the end, Damian Lillard was matched up with LeBron. And what does Damian Lillard do? Tells everyone to clear out. I've got this. I'm going to take care of it. Kuzma stays there to help out LeBron, as the announcers even noticed, because LeBron couldn't fucking handle him. The best player on the planet, remember? If I recall correctly, Michael Jordan was tasked with the most difficult defensive duties, while also carrying the burden on the offensive end. Whereas with LeBron, all anyone can talk about is lightening his load, giving him more rest, not giving him the burden of taking on the best player on the other team so that he can be freed up to do what LeBron does, which is what? Be a fucking facilitator? How inspiring again. Do what needs to be done rather than turning to excuses, rather than blaming the cast. And by the way, the cast, how many years in a row are we going to talk about this guy not having a cast, even though that cast, even the bench cast, are starters on other NBA teams? Not just starters, but already established superstars. Anthony Davis was the Pelicans. The entire fucking franchise was Anthony Davis. Danny Green, good enough to be a starter on last year's championship team. There's another assist for LeBron James. That's another three-pointer for Danny Green. Second team all defense.
Bounce the roll. Nurkic is there. Tied up by Danny Green and taken away.
And yet all I hear after the game are analysts talking about how terrible Green was. I don't care about Dwight Howard's weird history. The guy is a monster. A monster. JaVale McGee, I am not a big JaVale McGee fan, yet he was good enough for the Warriors championship team. Take away those guys and all you have is a first-round draft pick. In fact, Kuzma looked really good. He was the one that was making me nervous that the Lakers might get back into it. I'm not sure how he kept getting taken out of the mix, but I'm glad he did. Is Quinn Cook good? I don't know. You tell me. He was good enough to get finals minutes when he was on the Warriors. Speaking of, wasn't Whiteside one of LeBron's former teammates that was considered to be a nobody? Nobody or not, here he is, good enough for a team that's beating LeBron. How much value do you give to having a teammate who has playoff experience, finals experience? How about even winning finals experience? Well, let's count how many of those are on LeBron's current team. Rajon Rondo, Danny Green, twice with two teams, J.R. Smith, JaVale McGee, even Quinn Cook. Point being that no matter who we're talking about, once they join up with LeBron James, somehow none of them are good enough. Yet they would be good enough if they were on someone else's team. And all anyone can talk about is how they didn't do enough to lift the, quote, best player in the world. I thought that was supposed to be the other way around. In the meantime, James Harden continues to be literally unstoppable. And with Westbrook out, he is surrounded by absolutely nobody. Put LeBron on that Rockets team. Put Harden on that Lakers team. What would happen? And even though announcers still seem to be afraid to do the unspeakable and not call LeBron the best player in the world, most of them are talking about how Anthony Davis is going to have monster games for the Lakers to win. Why are you talking about not the best player in the world needing to have the monster games? And I don't just mean being a great supporter. I mean having more points than LeBron James, having more contributions than LeBron James, gobbling up more defensive effort than LeBron James. LeBron gets the credit at the end of the day. Even as last night's game wrapped up, as LeBron stood there with his hands on his hips like he so often has in history, instead of talking about that, instead of talking about his epic failure in the last minute and a half of the game, they're talking about, what a night for LeBron James. Man, that was quiet. I didn't know he had a triple-double because I didn't see him do fucking shit. Those were some of the easiest, most uncontested shots I've ever seen on his way to 23 points. And then 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Wow, inspiring. Especially when he misses the big ones at the end. No, Anthony Davis didn't have a great shooting game last night. Who would you trade him for? Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have in the entire NBA in that position than Anthony Davis? That's what I thought. Some of the analysts talk about, well, this is what you get when you dump all your money and your resources into getting Anthony Davis. You end up with a squad like this without much depth or talent. What? What team are you looking at? And who do you want? Let's first just put together your existing dream team, because it seems like no matter who is accumulated on that roster, it's never good enough. It's like, oh yeah, those guys suck. They suck once they get there, maybe. And I don't even know if they don't suck, but somehow it doesn't work out. Somehow the chemistry isn't there. But go back to what I asked. Who do you want? Just put together your dream team. Do you need every franchise player that's currently in the NBA for the roster of the best player on the planet to have a good enough team for him to win?